Jesu Domine. Dona esi requie. Jesu Domine. Oh, God.
No more cults. Stop.
Oh, it's just a church.
Same difference.
Church is floating water. Haven't you heard?
House.
Haven't you heard?
When you use a church.
Churches float in water. So speaks the holy word.
No.
And the Lord spake, saying, Thou shalt church float in water.
That was the most embarrassing thing I've ever done in my life. I'm sorry. I'm never coming back.
I hate to tell you, but that's probably not the first, and definitely not the last. Of
Because you're
just
on
today.
with us here on the couch. Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to the Morning Mayhem Talkshow, where we got Mary Helen on the talk show. Yay!
Hey, guys.
I do this every week. But yeah, so here we are, embarrassing another one of our friends. It's a good time.
This cup is dirty.
You picked it. You dirtied it yourself.
Someone didn't wash my mug. We're firing our cleaner.
Your mug?
We don't have a cleaner.
Exactly.
Do
Let's fire them. And then hire one.
Shall we begin with a passage?
Yes. From the dictionary. From the dictionary.
Pick one and I'll read it.
All right. Read the entry on mysterious.
Oh, okay, that's a good one. That's good. Okay. Mysterious is an adjective.
It is.
One. Well, I mean, that's what this says, and I'm just reading from the book. Of, relating to, or
Consisting?
constituting.
Constituting.
I think we need to look that one up in the dictionary too.
Yeah.
Wait, did it say of or...
Of, relating to, or constituting mystery.
It can't use the word in the definition.
No. The word is mysterious.
But it's mystery. That's the same form of the word.
Well, that's how they describe adjectives. I'm just saying. Two. I mean, B.
I mean, B. Did it actually say B and you read it as two?
Well, because right here it says one and then A. And then
Oh,
I
okay.
don't, you know.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
B.
Yeah, anyways. Well, that's the end of our passage.
Ah, yes. The holy word has been spoke
Ooh.
from Merriam-Webster herself.
Ooh, wait.
Pseudo-classicism.
Pseudo-classicism?
That's not classicism.
That's what we perform here.
Classicism. No.
Pseudo-classicism.
We need... What is pseudo... Wow, one of those words is long.
Tune in today as Carter reads the entire dictionary.
Pseudo-classism. Imitative representation of classism in literature and art. So it's just classism, but not quite.
But kind of.
knew?
Pseudo. That's what pseudo
Yeah.
means and implies.
Okay, there's two more good pseudo words. Why do they have to spread out the words too? It's hard to read when it's like there's dots in between every other letter.
Because
Well-
that's the syllabus.
That's not helpful.
That's how they help you pronounce it.
So
And put the emphasis on the right
Pseud-
syllable.
pseudepigraphy, the ascription of false names of authors to works. Pseudepigraphy.
Like plagiarism?
No.
But with more syllables? Am I wrong?
Like using a fake name for an author. That's kind of cool. Okay. Some of these words are too long. I can't.
What is the dictionary?
I have a 3-syllable limit.
A 3-syllable limit in your average use of words? It's not just ice cream.
Hey, yeah, flick it on me. Thanks.
So I don't know, Mary Helen, if you know, but Carter has this kind of curse that kind of follows him around.
We don't talk about that on air.
Every time he eats ice cream,
Nope.
some of it somehow ends up on his shirt. Like, even if he's, like, meticulously careful, covers himself in napkins, but he takes them off, there'll be a bit of ice cream on his shirt. Somehow. Like, we don't know how.
That's
It's a curse.
He came up with a solution recently. It was a good solution, but it required much sacrifice.
taking off his shirt.
Yeah,
Yes.
just walking around shirtless while eating ice cream. It was pretty hot.
God.
But yeah.
I mean, sounds like a pretty
I have
reasonable
water.
solution.
I will.
You will splash.
Yeah,
things.
just make sure you
Splash.
do like go around so that
You're right. But
you know.
like around.
No, like
Yeah. There's multiple arounds.
that's what I said around.
Oh, okay.
But we
Fair
prefer clockwise travel.
I
here.
don't prefer that, and I'm the guest, so
Like when I travel anywhere, I have to travel in a clockwise direction
Wait.
from
from wherever I am. So if I'm going to England, you have to go clockwise. So you have to fly up to New York and then over to England.
And then back down to South America on the way home.
No, then back to Atlanta.
Okay,
It's a clock.
I can get behind that.
But is it a circle?
So then, how do you get past New York? Or sorry, how do you get past London further into Europe?
You have to
You
go
just
in a
go
circle. You have to go
past.
up, and then you go to your next destination.
You do like
Yeah.
So
no,
is,
that gets.
No,
so is
you have
the
to make a
North
complete
Pole
circle
one of
every
your
time.
Well, then how do you get any further out of that
destinations?
circle or inward that circle?
You just make it bigger.
You're just along that one line.
Every,
Oh, you just make the
You're
circle.
not-
Oh. Yeah, nice.
Someone's thinking with their dipstick.
Mhm. Can you get to Tahiti with that method?
It's a magical place, so I'm sure you can.
Yes. Have you ever been to Tahiti?
TV.
Have you ever been to Tahiti? Have you ever been to Tahiti?
No, I
It is a
haven't.
magical place.
What do you do there?
Tahiti is the dream destination, you know? It's like you always want to get there, but it's always a
Well,
little bit out of reach, you know?
I've never
Pristine beaches, fake rocks.
fake
No,
rock.
that's San Diego, Carter. We're talking about Tahiti. You ever seen Madagascar? The scene where Melman goes, pristine beaches.
Don't explain everything.
Madagascar is an underrated movie. I
I-
think it's underrated.
I feel like I think
haven't seen
that
The
was
Sun
one
in
of
years.
the movies they had playing in the
Dentist office.
no
Pediatrician's office.
in the playground place at IKEA.
You're not wrong.
IKEA had TVs?
No, they have a kids zone.
They
You-
have the
like, you
kids
drop
zone
the kids
where
off
you
while your
go
mom
in.
go
You
get
could buy
me.
kids at IKEA?
Yes.
No,
Well, if
you
you
go
pick up the
in
wrong
and,
kid.
and if you don't want to have like your kid like following you around in IKEA, you just drop them off at this little play area. It was the coolest thing ever. No, there's like a ball pit. There's a tree that spins around. There's
You have
a
to like
giant
sign in
shoe.
your child?
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
and
you
then
sign
you
them
like
out.
check them out. Yeah.
There's a giant.
It's like daycare.
What could go
but
wrong?
not for exactly.
Yeah, and then there's this giant staircase that leads up to this little area with all these beanbags, and they have a TV, and they always play Disney movies.
I missed this.
Yeah, and IKEA.
I've
Yeah,
also
you
been to
did.
IKEA once, so.
I love
We
IKEA.
have to go to IKEA.
You hear-
IKEA is the best. Can we go to IKEA later?
Yes,
should go to
we should just go to
Please.
IKEA. It's not far,
I
but yeah.
love IKEA. IKEA's like my dream.
The meatballs are good. The it's like a maze. The whole store's just like a maze. It's like all these little pathways everywhere.
I know it's
It's
massive.
huge.
It
yeah,
is
yeah.
huge.
I heard about some like you know back when they had like the social distancing arrows and like the different stores and thing. I heard about this guy who built a maze of social distancing arrows in IKEA with no exit, a labyrinth with no escape.
The arrows never point out.
He got arrested for it too
Oh my
for like
God.
2 days because it was like some like public something
Disturbance.
some law disturbance of the peace somehow because people were stuck in IKEA for like days
Oh my gosh.
trying to
Yeah,
escape.
we have to go
Consider
to
yourself blessed to be stuck in an IKEA.
IKEA.
Yes,
I wouldn't
you
mind.
have everything you need. There's people
Exactly.
serving you food.
They have really
There's
good candy
beds.
there.
You're thinking of Costco.
No,
No.
the upstairs of IKEA they have restaurants.
They have a restaurant before you. Yeah,
I thought it was a store.
it is a
It's
store.
everything.
What?
All
has
all of
every-
your needs, your life
Yeah.
needs.
Why?
It's like a warehouse, a display store thing, a restaurant, a candy shop, a
a
kids
kids
thing.
area?
They
It's
have
crazy,
everything.
and they have lots of escalators.
Yeah, they do.
Love
You
escalators.
could
That's,
live.
that's a secondary bonus, and they have escalators.
We were talking about utopias a couple weeks back. IKEA is
Is
the
a
utopia.
utopia.
It's
Oh
the
my
smallest. It's the smallest version, but also the biggest you can get of a utopia. But it is basically everything. IKEA is self-sustainable. They definitely don't have trucks bringing stuff in. It all just magically just replenishes.
So
Yeah.
IKEA is the place where you want to.
Go always.
That's like the zombie apocalypse
Oh,
destination.
absolutely.
Yes.
You disappear
Absolutely.
into an IKEA.
You could hide anywhere in that store.
And all
in
the
the blanket
employees are just, like,
section,
helping
in
you
the
out?
blanket section, you
That's
could hide like
facts.
40 people in between.
And that is how Carter and I were originally snared by these yokels around here. It all started by entering an IKEA. You never believe it. But yeah. hmm You know, they actually probably cut that part out. Because we really can't say that on the air.
Nah, we'll be fine.
If you missed the story, then, well, it's a good one. Stay tuned. But anyway, IKEA is good. Yeah? You know?
I love IKEA. I go there every day.
Every day. You just
Yeah.
live there.
Oh, absolutely.
But you shouldn't. You might get trapped. Which is probably what happened to you. Isn't that
Probably.
how you ended up here? In this
Yeah.
desolate basement with us?
Yeah, I don't even know. Like these lectures are just like.
There,
I don't
it's a bit
even
much.
know. It's a little
Imagine
confusing.
living here like Carter and I do.
Well, at least you don't live in my house.
I wish we all lived in an IKEA.
We should just build an if we ever like, you know, if you guys ever like start like a real career in this,
A real career?
you could get a giant house or just a warehouse and build an IKEA in it.
Oh,
And then just
inside
live
the
there.
house.
Yeah,
Or we could
and
just
you could have people over.
buy an
and
IKEA.
That too. Good one.
Instead
Good
of
idea.
building one.
That just sounds like an IKEA with extra
I
steps.
know, but it would be so much more fun to build it.
I guess so. Seems like
Secret,
take a lot of work,
secret
though.
tunnels, you know, all that.
Secret
I was
tunnels.
gonna say-
Secret tunnels.
Secret tunnels. It is IKEA.
As much as I would love to go on another grocery store tangent,
As much
It's
as you
not a
would,
grocery
I
store.
think.
because we have Costco, that's a whole
Carter,
other topic.
as much as you would, I think right now we need to go shopping for some questions. Oh,
That's not even
that
a
was
pun.
so bad.
we need to go into our Q&A today.
not even
You have a
fun.
Q&A?
We do.
Oh,
We're,
what's on
we are
there?
top notch here on the morning
Mostly
Mayhem
just,
Talk
it's
Show.
mostly just a Q. There's
Sure.
not much A.
We're the A's.
Well, who are they?
Exactly. See, that's what I'm saying. All right. Question number 1 for the day comes from Kondrakai. Oh,
Who?
I don't know, some weird internet name. What are the in-depth consequences of the Industrial Revolution, and would you change anything? Mary Helen, I want you to take
No,
take
that's
this one.
okay. I'll pass.
The in-depth consequences of the Industrial
Yeah,
Revolution.
show us that good old education.
Well, see, here's the thing. In my personal opinion, the consequences of the Industrial Revolution,
There's a lot of industry.
yeah. I mean,
And revolutions.
I mean, we stopped being so isolated from each other.
Ah,
You know,
I never really thought
It
about
brought
that.
us together.
it really did, and I don't like that.
Oh, what a turn of events.
I mean, in history, we've been learning a lot about how, you know,
How people are better when they're not together.
how people, you know, being together after
Brings out the
people,
worst of us.
after people like stopped being hunters and started being more farmers, you know, they were brought together, and their minds would work together, and then they would, you know, think of good, you know,
How is that
things to
bad?
make.
You said that was bad.
Are you suggesting we should go back to the barter system?
Well,
economy?
maybe not necessarily, but I
Well, I
feel
agree.
like, actually, you know, I changed my opinion. I think that
You had
You heard it here first.
I
ladies
did.
and
That's what I was trying to explain. I just didn't know how to get it out. Because I wouldn't have friends if we were so, you know,
gentlemen.
if we were still hunters and gatherers.
Yeah. Hmm.
I wouldn't have you guys.
Thank goodness we're farmers.
Yeah,
Well, there you have it, Kondrakai.
there's your answer.
Exactly. All right,
Yeah,
Megan.
actually.
You remember Megan Height? She was on the show
Absolutely.
a while
Yeah,
ago.
no.
She asked.
Who?
Who- She was in our Christmas special. It was great.
Who?
We had a
Oh,
Christmas special in July.
Me
It was a good
and
time.
Megan used to hang out every single Wednesday.
Year. Oh.
Megan, you've been called out.
Because our brothers went to classical together.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So
There it
we
is.
used to hang out.
Mhm.
That was way back when I was literally a horrible person. I used to be so mean.
How long ago were we talking?
Well, we were
Like,
all really mean.
six,
Let's be
six
real.
months.
Everyone below the age of 15 is kind of a jerk.
Until before I got to high school.
I'm not wrong.
Before I got to high school. Before I got to high school, I was really mean.
Kids, yeah,
Um,
who needs them?
yeah, they're so gross. Like I babysit. That's like my job at the moment. And I didn't realize what I was signing up for. I don't like it.
But you make a lot
I
of money.
babysit.
I
but
do.
Kids are gross.
No, they literally.
Okay, anyway, Megan's question is,
Sorry.
what? No, you're good. What color describes or encapsulates your personality? What color?
Are we artsy people? Are you an
No.
artsy person?
I am.
She is,
Okay.
yeah.
That's for you to answer then.
We're just gonna
because-
put all of our questions on you.
Well, see, the thing is, my favorite color's always been orange, and I feel like orange does.
I'd say
I love orange.
Like what kind of orange?
green, sea
Like-
green,
Like a
green.
nice
Like neon orange?
No,
like
no.
pumpkin orange?
like pumpkin orange or like
pumpkin pie orange,
burnt.
pumpkin pie.
Like whatever color this is.
That's a really nice orange. Maybe a little bit more pumpkinish.
Just
Or
like
but-
reddish orange.
Yeah.
It's like brownish.
On that we can agree. He's colorblind. You are colorblind.
Anyway,
That's okay.
So I'd say sea green, burnt orange. You gotta have some weird adjective in front of the color.
it's not a weird adjective. It's to describe the color. Electric blue.
That's kind of cool.
That is really
That is
cool.
really cool, actually.
You see
They're
those?
all
You see
awesome.
those cars driving around? You're like, yeah.
Oh yeah, that's electric blue right there.
For sure. All right, she's the second question because she's a double dipper. And her other question is, what is your favorite ice cream flavor? We have never had this question before.
I gotta think about that.
We're all ice cream flavors.
If you say wild berry, lavender, whatever,
It's good.
It is
whatever
good.
It's really
light
good.
girl flavor you want to
No,
say.
I don't care what
Well,
people
what's
say, what the
yours,
haters
Carter?
say. Wild berry lavender is delicious.
It is. Any lavender type ice cream?
It's good.
So
If you could mistake the flavor of ice cream for a candle, it's probably not good to eat.
Well, you're wrong about that. Because
Totally
have you
right.
ever
Have
had
you ever had a mint chocolate chip candle?
have you ever had an apple pie candle?
No.
It's one of my favorite flavors at the moment. A nice fall
Flavors?
flavor.
Of candles?
Okay, you know what? Leave it alone.
Scents,
So-
maybe?
Well, actually, I got into this habit of calling like candle flavors,
Yeah.
candle scents flavors.
No, you're right.
And I went to Target the other day, and I was looking for a candle, and this guy was like, "Hey, can I help you? What are you looking for?" And I was like, "Well, I'm looking for this specific flavor of candle," and he was like, "What are you talking about?" And I was like, "I mean, the scent of candle."
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
I was so embarrassed.
You're like, I don't eat them.
I don't
No.
eat them. What are you talking
I'm
about?
like eating candles. Mhm.
On today's episode of My Strange Addiction.
That's right. Oh.
Like 6-year-olds eating chapstick.
Eating what? Ooh.
You don't. It was a joke. It was a joke.
Exposed.
I promise. It was a joke.
Wait. All right, yeah. Yeah.
Okay, best flavor of ice cream though is like caramel.
I know I'm old fashioned, but mint
Ooh.
chocolate chip. Like
Why?
a good mint chocolate chip.
No.
It's good. But
It's good, but
There's
like,
better.
there's I like something
Or
with like.
Chocolate peanut
Choc-
butter ice cream.
That's what I was about to say. Chocolate, anything with chocolate and peanut butter.
chocolate peanut butter mousse tracks.
Yes.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yeah, top notch.
Yeah.
Mhm. All right.
We just agree.
Yeah, I think we all did. Chocolate peanut butter
It's amazing.
It's a good idea. All right. Remember Grace? We're all of our old guests.
Who?
Somehow they're still sending in questions.
Who?
In the corner. Stop. Grace asks. Grace says this one's from Liam. Okay. If you were to be the dictator of one Middle Eastern country, which would it be?
The Holy Land.
That's right. Somewhere near the Holy Grail. This is my quest.
Israel.
I don't think Israel has a dictator.
I would be the dictator.
Oh, okay. Yeah. You'd ruin good old Israel.
But I would make an actual Iron Dome around the whole country.
But not just like their actual, their like proverbial Iron Dome.
Right.
Mhm.
Like, and then there would be no sunlight. It would just be closed off to
Yeah.
the world.
Uh-huh.
It could be like a Hunger Games arena.
Yeah. And it's small enough that you could do that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Makes sense to me.
Sounds like a plan.
The
Let's go.
Thunderdome. The Israel Dome.
Nah, that sounds sketchy, but still, it's pretty good.
The Iron Dome.
Which one has like the least missiles and the least people that hate it?
Canada.
No, Middle Eastern country.
Canada?
Middle Eastern
Where did
country.
Canada come from?
I don't know. Maybe like
Bahrain.
South Sudan or something.
That's in Africa.
Oh, never mind. I don't know random countries.
No, Bahrain. That's like the tiny little. I almost said purple country. That's Stack the Countries.
Good game, by the way. Classic.
But Bahrain's like a very itsy bitsy country.
Mm.
That basically isn't a country. It's like a city.
Part of Russia's in the Middle East. Maybe I could rule Russia.
You want to be the
An iron
dictator
fist.
of Russia?
Well, it's huge.
Yeah, it is.
Instead of an iron
Lot of
curtain,
people.
you'd make a silk curtain.
Yeah. Easy to tear through, easy to see through, but looks kind of cool.
Very
Does-
soft.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And very soft. Oh, yeah.
Very good for your skin.
They call the Russians cuddly instead of like iron and hard and cold.
Oh.
Hmm
So what country are you picking?
Well, I feel like being a dictator is a lot of work, so like I'm gonna pass on this one.
Being a dictator is a lot of work. Okay, say you're the dictator, but like you have people to do all the work, and you just get brought stuff. But occasionally you make good decisions to go like invade other places.
Does it have to
Turkey.
be in the Middle East?
Turkey.
Turkey, well,
Turkish
I've
delight.
never
Limited
really
turkey.
liked
Oh,
turkey.
that too.
like turkey the meat. is great.
Yeah, they probably have a lot of turkey.
You know, it
In that
freaked me
case-
out when I was like 8 years old when I learned that turkey like has this like a chemical that makes you sleepy, and now I'm like, that's awesome.
Turkey makes you
more
sleepy.
Chloroform?
No, like it's like
The country or the thing?
No, turkey, the meat,
Oh.
has a chemical in the meat that makes you sleepy when you eat it. It's like tryptophan or no, that's something else. But it's I don't remember what it's called.
That is really
But
weird.
it has this like little chemical in it that makes you sleepy. And that kind of freaked me out when I was little. But looking back on it, I'm like, that's great. A food that makes you tired. Most of the time, eating lots of food wakes you up. You know,
No, you eat a lot of food and then you want to like, take a nap.
That's why you get so tired after lunch.
after turkey.
Well, if you have turkey for lunch, then it's a double whammy.
Exactly. So that just kind of freaked me out. But yeah.
Mr. Kane, our
Oh,
biology,
don't speak that name!
our biology class was right after lunch,
Mm-hmm.
and he would let us take naps in class.
He would. Wow.
Yeah.
What a good guy.
Don't you wish you had Mr. Kane?
He
You
did.
did?
I did.
He hated him.
Oh my god, I loved Mr. Kane.
He let me eat in class.
I don't like him anymore, but
I said Mr. Kane's name earlier, and this is Carter's reaction.
I don't know.
Yeah.
We had a really great biology
I'll post that
class.
somewhere. All right. Remember Jonah?
Who?
Wait, when? Did I ask?
You guys are so funny.
That joke has been banned from Heritage because Mr. Allen got so mad at us.
Actually?
Saying
Edward?
it every 5
Yeah.
minutes.
Yeah.
I can believe that.
And
All right.
Donovan.
All right. No, yeah, of course. All right. This question says, "Oh, it's more colors. Are all colors imaginary? Are we all just
Yes.
different? Are we all just a different type of colorblind and don't know it?"
Yes.
All right. Moving on now. What do you think?
There's colors, not everything. It's just light.
With light bouncing and refracting, yeah. Well, there's a pervading theory that, like, I don't know, let's take a color. Say the color of this dictionary, like this kind of red. We all call it red because when we were born, our parents went red. But like, you might
But we
see
could
it as
be
blue,
seeing it,
you might see it
yeah.
as green or whatever, or something else. But we all call this red.
And there's no way to really, like, there's no way to tell if everybody's seeing it as the same or different because you can't compare it to something else that's red because that's the same, it's the same
That's
thing
the same
with
thing.
that.
Oh, this
yeah.
is red too. Oh, I'm not supposed to mention that, but that's red too. So
Yeah.
you know, it's kind of interesting.
It's a good theory.
But I don't know about the colorblind part.
Well, yeah.
Like
Well-
everyone's partially colorblind.
I'm like legally blind, so there's that.
Legally?
I'm legally, to an extent, blind.
He can't
Not to the
drive
point
without his.
Not to the point
glasses
where
or
I can't.
contacts.
Yeah, I have to have like lenses to drive, but not to the point where I can put a handicap sticker on
Right.
my car, which is
He's-
very unfortunate.
yeah,
I'm not
he's-
blind enough to put a
Darn.
handicap sticker.
Yeah.
It's so sad. We're getting there. We're getting there.
Someday.
If we could just like poke you in the eyes to fix that. Because you have to be legally blind while having your glasses in. So
But then would you be able to drive at all?
yes, but you would get
Really?
a handicap sticker. They would let you drive, which they
That
shouldn't.
doesn't
But
sound
you
very
would also
safe.
get a handicap sticker.
So it's a double whammy. You drive and you get a handicap sticker, so you can park in those parking spots right up next to the front.
Yeah, it's like when you see people driving and they're just like all over the road. You're like, handicapped.
I bet they're
First
handicapped.
section. Handicap. Sometimes I wonder why we do these talk shows in the morning. You know, when we're all the most tired and the most
Hey, I've been up
nonsensical.
since 7:30.
Wow.
I was telling Storm earlier that for the past like 3 days I've been waking up at like the crack of dawn for no reason at all.
Okay, what time is the crack of dawn?
Like 6:37.
That's the crack of dawn. She's got
It
you
is.
there.
I mean,
Close enough.
it's still dark outside when I wake up. At least
It's
in
becoming
this time
legit-
of year.
Yes.
So I think it counts.
Okay, I'm like, if you're calling
Some of my
7:30 the
parents
crack
aren't
of
up
dawn,
at that time,
then-
so
I always thought the crack of dawn was a funny term, you know? Like, the fact that the dawn
When
cracks.
dawn- yeah.
I don't think that it's a crack when you first see the sun.
some
Cracks
people
over
call
the
it.
horizon.
I like first light.
The
First
crest.
light makes sense to me.
Some people call it the butt crack of dawn.
The butt crack of dawn.
Some people.
That is the name of this episode. The butt crack
The
of
butt
dawn.
crack of dawn.
Who's dawn?
Who's Pam? What a classic. Good old Dawn.
Who's Dawn?
Who's dawn?
Do we know?
I just thought this was funny because we do
Don
know, we do know a
Corleone.
Dawn. So that's even
That
that
was
makes
his,
it even
wait,
better.
that wasn't his first name.
What?
What was his name? Don Corleone.
Don Juan? Don Quixotes?
Don. Yeah,
Oh, I know that one.
Don.
Or some people say Don Quixote.
That's horrible.
I know.
No,
it's
but
terrible.
you can't say that because the word quick. There's a word quixotic.
Really?
Yes. quixotic.
Are you sure it's not chaotic?
It's not chaotic. It's quixotic.
Chaotic.
I think that's probably spelled differently.
It's spelled Quix. Otic.
Oh, yeah, otic.
I don't know.
I
Why
mean,
can I not
That is
spell?
weird.
It's describing someone who's like weird, who's like naive and optimistic. Like
That's
Dawn.
It's a good book.
Quixotic?
Don Quixote, yeah.
Yeah.
Quixote? Yes.
Yeah.
All
Well,
right.
I mean, there's a ballet of it.
Mm.
So.
Next question. I think this might be our last question. Tad, you know Tad? Tad asks, what is one thing,
I thought that was gonna be a math problem for a second.
what is one thing on your bucket list? Just
Ooh.
one of the things on your bucket list. Just any one of them.
This is questionable. Something was added to my bucket list literally last night, but I can't say it on the internet.
Oh my goodness.
So now I have to like
The
think
government
of-
upstairs is
Okay, well, you're
shooting
gonna have
someone.
to tell us after because I really want to know now.
I will tell after, but I literally won't say it on the internet. Because I would like to have a job in my future.
Yeah, someone's gonna go back and say, look at this guy. When he was younger, he had a talk show. And
Yeah, that's
on
literally
his
what
bucket
happened.
list, he said he was gonna murder his first boss. Can't have that happening.
One thing on my bucket list is to drive a Tesla at least once.
Mm,
That's a good one. That's a really good one.
Just a simple.
Teslas are cool.
They are cool.
they're so quiet.
They are. They self-park.
They're so
They have smart park, you know?
yeah.
If
They
you're-
can also
if you're
valet
rolling to Harvard,
themselves.
Yeah.
they can valet themselves.
That's a new beta feature they've tested. So you can like stand at the curb and press the button on the fob.
goes and
it'll
finds a
it'll
parking
pull
spot?
up. No, it'll like pick you up. Like it'll come out of its parking spot, pick you up at the curb.
Can you do the reverse though? You pull up, you get
Yeah.
out, and it goes find the parking spot.
I think so.
That's really cool. That's also really scary. Imagine like walking along the parking lot and all of a sudden a car without a driver just comes down and you're like, oh shoot.
And you can just watch. You can watch Netflix in your. And you can watch Netflix in your Toyota.
Toyota.
Sorry.
Your
change-
Toyota Corolla.
Your Tesla. You can. You can use all those fancy effects. You can.
Yeah.
You can use the what's it called?
You get a custom horn.
Yeah.
Me.
If I ever have a Tesla, that's what I'm gonna choose.
I want a
to.
custom horn,
Roadrunner.
just like me yelling, "Get out of the way!"
Get out of the way! Like in a panic tone or in an angry tone?
and an angry tone.
I would want to panic. I'd be like, get out! So they're like, oh shoot, what's going on? You know?
I didn't know that it was illegal to use your horn unless it was like an emergency.
What?
Apparently it is.
If you're mildly angry, it suffices as well. if it's a green light and they're not going, that's when you're supposed to use it. That's not an emergency though.
Or
Yeah.
if they're being a jag and not let you get over a lane.
Or if
There's a
they're
lot of
coming
reasons.
into your lane without checking their blind spot.
Or
and
if
you're
they're just like putting on their
That
makeup
happens
in the morning,
unnecessarily a lot.
and you want
What?
the,
That should be illegal.
no, if they're putting on their makeup in the
People
morning
try
and
to,
you
like,
want to
put
make
makeup in
them
the car
jump
while
and like
driving.
mess it
while
up.
they're driving.
Like driving like with the mirror down, like
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, that's
that is
stupid.
nuts. That is like worse than reading in the car.
People read in the
No one reads.
Storm.
it.
I have never heard
You
this
mean
happen.
phone?
I think
Reading anything, like reading anything, like
No one reads anything other than their
like
phone.
you're driving
in the car.
along and you're like, oh yes, Providence.
Providence.
just Storm just like casually reading its dictionary while driving to school.
The history of ownership of a valued object or work of art or literature. Ah, Providence.
Okay.
Sure.
No
Or
idea.
cyclodextrin.
Cyclodextrin.
Any of a class of complex cyclic sugars that are products in the enzymatic decomposition of starch and that can catalyze reactions that are in simpler molecules and come together within the cylindrical body of a sugar.
I thought I was fluent in English until you read that
Yeah.
sentence.
It just went right in one ear and out the other.
That's right. Yeah, oh.
Just nod and smile.
And wave, right? Is that
Smile and
smile?
wave.
Yeah, somewhere there. Yeah. This is the 10th addiction. This is the 10th
Tenth
edition.
addiction.
This is the 10th
What are you
edition
addicted
of
to?
the dictionary.
The
Where are you,
The
Webster
10th edition
Dictionary?
of the dictionary. They've changed it. They've like sufficiently changed it 10
Oh,
times to the point where they had to call it a new edition.
That's crazy.
Show up to your NA meeting, you're like, it's my 10th addiction to the dictionary.
I remember like living in the year 2016 and having the word awesome sauce be added to the dictionary. I remember that event distinctly,
I
as
believe-
well as the word PogChamp.
Pog,
in like
yes.
2019.
Pog was added.
Those were sad days.
Oh yeah.
Those were depressing days.
Pog days.
No.
Awesome sauce.
I wonder how old this dictionary is. I wonder if we could find PogChamp in here.
No, it's.
I don't think we want that.
Do you think anyone buys a new dictionary in the last 10 years? No.
You're not wrong, actually. Is
Like-
O before Z?
Do you think anyone will ever buy a dictionary of our generation? No.
Probably not.
Like, you can look it up.
My grandma, in her living room, just for decoration, has this table with a dictionary on it. And it's like this thick. And the words are like...
It's like Shakespeare's English dictionary.
Absol-
Like,
yeah.
Pogo
it's, no,
stick.
I've never seen more words
Pogo.
in one place.
I've never seen more words in one place
Poggy.
than in a book.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, they have Pogo Stick, and they have Pogrom. So that's it.
Oh,
For
I
POG.
used to know Pogrom. What is Pogrom?
Pogrom is
I used to know this.
Take your time.
an organized massacre of helpless people.
Yes,
Oh my
thank
gosh.
you.
A pogrom.
I knew I'd heard the
That's
word
a
before.
terrible word.
It's hilarious.
Actually, no, never mind.
That is
I
terrible.
didn't hear that word anywhere.
World War II, the first pogrom, and the last pogrom this time. No, sorry, Russia. Russia was also pogrom
Sure.
because it has to be organized, right? So when the government murders like 600, what was it? Russia was 60 million people that they killed in like a couple years. Yeah.
When a student snaps and
Oh
kills.
my god. Okay, chill out.
Whoa, Carter. Okay, I think that's on his bucket list.
Yeah, I think. Oh, that's maybe.
Oh, I
That's
never said it was on my bucket list. My bucket list sometime is, well, of course, to go to Tahiti, but we were talking about that. I want to, I don't know.
Kicking the bucket is on the bucket list.
Yes.
At the end of the
course.
bucket
Is it
list. Actually,
towards-
sorry, there's one
no,
thing
towards
after
the
it.
bottom. Yes. Being resurrected. I want to be resurrected one day. Wouldn't that be awesome? I'm like enchanted. Come back to life. I'm like, nah.
Sure.
Faking your death. That's on the bucket
Oh,
list.
You're
That's
thinking
a
all the
good
good
one.
ones. I'm trying to think of good ones. My bucket list is to, become president of Australia.
They have a prime minister.
Darn.
Not a president.
I don't know. My bucket list is not very long nor very extensive, but all the items on it are long and extensive. And very
Meeting Chris
specific.
Hemsworth.
I don't
Oh
want
my
to meet
gosh,
Chris.
I wonder
Hemsworth.
if
Walking
they
with Chris
have-
Hemsworth.
I would just feel bad if I met Chris Hemsworth. I'd be like, you're so much more muscular than I am.
He's such a man.
Which is exactly what I don't want to meet him.
Chris.
Chris.
I wonder if I have
Oh, you want some
Bucket
news stories?
list.
How much more time
I
do we have?
wonder if I have a bucket list.
a bucket list on my notes app.
Do you actually?
I might.
You maybe do.
I should add something to both of your bucket lists. Dyeing your hair.
I've already dyed my hair.
You have?
Yeah.
When?
I dyed it darker.
Mhm.
I dyed it like really dark brown. It's darker at the bottom, but not at the top.
I was unaware.
Remember,
There's one bar of service in this basement. It's desolate.
I have
40
2 bars.
negative 42nd floor.
I have 2 bars.
You have
Get
2
on my
bars.
level.
Well, that's because you're new here, okay?
I don't have a
New
phone.
year. Must suck.
Gordon and I have been sharing this one ever since Jonah sat on Carter's. Alright, here you go.
I need this.
Time for our news segment, ladies and
What
gentlemen.
is this?
So since we've been stuck in this basement for ever since the summer, beginning of summer, we've been having to. They send us a couple news stories every week, so we can
Sure.
talk about them, and so we can actually know what's going on in the world outside. So Carter's our news guy, and I'm our questions guy. It's kind of how it rolls. But Carter's not nearly as cool. He doesn't have a cool pun intro to his news segment like I did.
Well, maybe he'll make one up.
Yeah, maybe we'll make one up right now.
Let's hear it. Hey guys, here's the news section.
Is that a pun?
That's not a.
Oh, I didn't hear that part. Sorry.
What did you hear?
I heard a nice little intro for your news section.
Oh, an
That too.
intro. Okay, here's the intro. News. It's happening. Yeah.
I like it.
So-
News is
yeah.
happening. Yeah, it's short, sweet,
Short,
and to the point.
Sorry,
exactly.
sorry. And yeah.
And yeah.
To be
yeah.
grammatically correct.
Because we're talking about grammar.
We
Sure.
are.
We got a dictionary right here.
Okay.
I found a picture of an narwhal.
There's an airport in downtown Taipei.
There's a picture of me
Sure.
next to Insanity.
There's an airport in downtown Taipei.
What's a Taipei?
It's in Taiwan. Taipei 101, the giant tower.
Oh yeah.
You can get on a plane. You get to spend the whole day role playing
get
that you're
to-
at the airport. You get on a plane. You sit on there for an hour. You get back off. The plane doesn't go anywhere.
Does it have any sort of like simulation? Like
No.
the plane doesn't move
No.
around.
Now you just sit there. Nothing fancy. You just sit there
That's
for an hour
fine.
now.
Once the passengers boarded, their trip comes to an anticlimactic end. After being greeted by flight attendants, buckling up, and sitting on the tarmac, they then deplane and go home.
I wonder if the plane.
Why? Why do you want to do that?
Because the airport is the best. You
No,
just
the
wanna
airport's the
pretend you're at
worst. The
airport.
plane is the best.
But I can't agree with you. I think they're both cool.
They're both awesome.
I think airport, just being at an airport is just so fun.
It's because it's associated with like going somewhere
Exactly.
cool. Like something's awesome is about to happen.
Yeah, but you have to like lug your bags around.
Also, if you've been to Italy,
I've always
like,
wanted
Yeah,
to
you
go.
if
can-
you've
if
been
you've
to Italy like
Italy,
us,
you could navigate through any airport.
I've been stuck in this basement. I have no time to go anywhere.
Well, that's too bad.
It is too bad.
I'm pretty sure I think I might have been one of the reasons that COVID came to America because I was sick when I came home from Italy,
Oh.
and then COVID happened. So sorry guys.
So you were you were
Hello,
patient zero.
police.
Hello, police.
Oh, guys,
Fauci.
don't take me away.
Okay.
Whoa.
So
Me.
Wow.
you know how I'm not even remembering.
Such a
I
chill
think
episode of
There was a
Talk Show.
point in the past where we had a safe here,
Safe.
and we were trying. Storm gave us a combination. We were trying to open it.
Yeah, it was fun. We had a little safe segment.
It took us way too long, but
Did you open it?
eventually,
Was
yes.
there anything in it?
No.
That's
No, there was a
so
bomb.
sad.
Oh,
Alright.
Um,
There was a object that I told them was a bomb.
So, some random dude in Alberta. Where's Alberta? Is that like Maine? I don't know. Anyway, some random dude was trying to open a 2,000 pound safe that had been locked since the 90s. And he jokingly spun the dial in a random combination and got it right.
Wow.
Like, it had been locked for 30 years, and he's just, like, messing around. Alberta's in Canada. Ha! Canada did something.
Canada did something. Canada did something.
Yeah. So he opened a 2,000 pound safe that had been closed, and everyone's like, oh, what's going to be inside? It was a paper from a waitress book with a bill for about $10.
With a bill?
Uh-huh.
Not even a check. It was a bill?
Yeah, it was the pay sheet for
You opened it-
for
you owe me
$9.95.
$9.95.
So sad.
Wait, imagine getting a bill and then
putting
putting it
it-
in your safe and locking it. You can't prove that I owe you. Like, forgetting about it, and like hundreds of years later, some guys they're like, it's the discovery of the century. Vault swings open, just a little piece of paper on the floor. You're gonna be like,
Sucker.
a burger.
And a drink.
What
and,
a-
and fries. What a fatty. Extra sauce.
Hmm.
Wow, they were really spending some cash back then.
Just like they were spinning the vault door.
Well, I've been watching this show called Bones. Have you guys heard of that?
What? No, what's it on?
It's
It's
a
on
doctor
Hulu.
show.
It is a forensic anthropologist show.
Yeah.
It's a doctor show.
So basically,
One of those
it's about
shows.
this forensics team that works with the FBI to solve
And they all
murder
romance all of the other
mysteries.
characters.
What?
And each character romances every other character.
Actually, nobody has romanced anybody yet.
Yet.
But I'm
Is
in
the
like
keyword.
the third episode of the second season.
Oh.
So, they basically solve murder mysteries, and it's really graphic
Oh.
because all these dead bodies and stuff. But it's so good. You should definitely watch it. 10 out of 10 would recommend.
Dead bodies are not the worst.
I know, but it's so
Carter keeps telling me to watch Blacklist.
Yes.
good.
It's a great
Yeah,
show.
on
It's
Netflix.
yeah, FBI crime show
Mm-hmm.
with James Spader.
Crime shows. I think the best crime show I've seen in a long time is Psych.
Psych is a good show.
Looks great. All right, I just found a reason to move to England, despite what I've said in the past.
What?
What have you said in
We
the
don't
past
stay
about
in
moving
England.
to England?
We'll not go there. Anyway, 13 different times in the last 6 years in Blackhall Colliery, England, someone left bags of 2,000 pounds in cash around the town. And people kept turning in the bounty. Like, people who found it turned it into the police.
Why? Why don't they just keep the 2,000 pounds?
Exactly. But after 2 weeks, if the money isn't claimed, if you found it, you get to keep it. So they were giving it back on the chance that they would get like
But most of
picked
the time
up,
they get to.
but most of the time they got to keep it.
Nice.
But idiots for turning it in. Just pocket 2,000 pounds. That's a lot of money.
Criminal in the making.
That's $4,000.
Is pounds just doubled
Yes, pounds.
or halved from dollars? Is
No,
that how it works? Is £1 $2?
Yes, about. I don't remember what it is like right now, but
Okay, so
recently,
around
yes.
there, yeah.
But they eventually found the people who were leaving it around, and they were literally just being like nice people and leaving around stacks of cash.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
That's the
Maybe
kind
we
of
should all move to England
that's the kind of like
instead of
I think
Australia.
we should.
charity I want.
Except, it's kind of like.
All you get
I
is
wouldn't move to the city
beans
though.
for breakfast.
I know. You live in this little cramped little apartment.
That's right. And a flat.
But if you can find me a castle, then I'd love to move there.
Look at you, you pretty princess.
I'd move to a castle in England with some money on the side.
Some money on the side. I'm
And
finding
preferably not beans on the side.
I'm
No
finding
beans.
so
No,
many
I'm
places
good.
to
I'm good on
visit.
beans. Sorry.
If you go to Fukuoka, I'm not gonna pronounce that. Something in Japan.
Where is it?
Kauka. Something like that. There's a hotel you can stay at that you pay 100 yen a night. That's like
What is a yen?
It's like less
I
than
know
a
what it is, but
dollar.
how much is it's less than
It's like less than $1 for a night.
Is it a nice hotel?
No, the catch. Visitors must actually. It's a decent looking hotel. The room. Oh, that room.
Well,
actually
time to
looks
spell
nice.
beans.
Ooh, kind of like that.
Beans.
But guess what the catch is?
What?
The hotel.
be a
You
slave.
agree that the hotel live streams your entire visit to YouTube.
That's nuts.
So you
No,
can
but you
watch
could.
people. You watch people just like get up and brush their teeth.
Yeah, that's what you're watching. Right.
No, but like if you weren't
Where
going
is
to be
this?
doing anything, you
In
could
Japan.
totally do
In
that.
Japan. Okay, that makes sense. Japan is having a problem right now with this. Have you heard about this? With all like their like live streaming stuff and people who like hidden cameras in places and like in like private rooms and like restrooms and stuff like that. And
That's terrifying.
yeah, it really is terrifying.
One time on the show, they watched a guest attempt to play Twister by himself.
Okay, he probably knew.
He probably,
He was
yeah.
putting on a show for the people.
But that's
But still,
amazing.
that is pretty amazing.
Does anybody else's mom
To divulge
have like their cans cabinet?
of beans.
Mostly
Beans.
of beans.
Spill the beans.
But
Anything can.
Spill the beans
and,
in the dictionary.
and
right
they
here.
never use any of the cans, yet they keep buying more.
Yeah.
Yes. What is up with that? Mom,
Like
explain.
I could live with my mom not buying any groceries for like 4 months.
Oh, straight
Just
beans.
because of that cabinet with beans that just don't go bad.
Mhm.
It's insane. I think everybody's mom has a cabinet for their cans. That they-
Beans.
But yeah. And it's not just beans. It's like 10 different kinds of beans.
Oh.
It's like pinto
Black
beans.
beans, pinto beans.
You don't want to
Yeah.
be stuck eating the
Black-eyed
same
beans.
kind
Yeah,
of bean
you're
for
gonna have-
weeks.
You gotta
That's
have a
facts.
rotation.
We know the black beans are the best. Like, I'm not
Black
wrong.
beans are good. Yeah,
I can't get behind pinto beans as hard as I try.
pinto beans are good.
I can't get behind them because black beans are so much better.
Black beans, I feel like
Green
are
beans
just...
are good.
Green beans are good.
Are you done with news over there?
I can have one more short one,
Okay, go for it.
which is just kind of funny, and it seems like something that I would do. Not something I would do. Seems like something that would happen if we tried to do it. In New Hampshire, they were trying to crack open a 50-year-old time capsule in a safe.
And I accidentally got it right again.
No, they opened the safe.
Okay.
and there was nothing inside. And they were like doing some research, and someone's like, "Oh, the time capsule accidentally got buried somewhere else,
Wait, what?
like in a park next to where they put the safe. They buried the time capsule,
So they buried.
so they
The
can't
safe
find the time
without
capsule.
this.
They buried a safe with nothing in it, and then buried the time capsule
They just-
nearby,
Did they just forget?
and
Instead
they
of
don't.
inside?
Put it in the safe.
Why don't they go back to that park and dig it up?
Dig it up.
They-
Put it in.
they-
dig it.
Staff headed out with metal detectors in search of the missing capsule, but returned empty-handed.
Wow,
They can't find it.
that's
Who
very
buries
sad.
an
I
empty
think
safe?
we should go. Where is this?
It's in Derry, New
I
Hampshire.
think we should go.
Yeah, let's do
I
it.
think we. Let's.
I'd bury a safe that had like a sticky note inside that was like, ha ha.
You,
That's-
you
uh,
at least have to have a
Hooligan.
clue to it. You can't just have an empty safe. You have to leave a clue.
Like a riddle. It's like it's like riddle me this.
Yeah.
Ultimate
Riddle.
treasure hunt.
Or a really good math equation for the distance of feet to the.
Not a math equation. I remember watching.
That's what I would do.
It was a
Just for
PBS
you.
Kids show. I think it was Odd Squad. Odd
Classic.
Squad is so good. Oh my god. Okay.
I've seen like one episode, but
And it was like a really long episode, and they were doing a treasure hunt, and then they had to walk so many feet away from the first clue. They didn't know in what direction, so he created like clones of himself.
so they could
And
all
they
go in
just-
every direction.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, did it work?
It was
Didn't they all fight over who's the real one? Like all clones do.
It was a treasure box full of smelly socks, so that they could defeat the monster in the ocean.
Wow. Context not required at all.
Zero context.
Mhm.
It was pretty good though.
Well, Carter, I think it's that time of day again. Looks up. You know what? You know what I'm talking about.
Nice hat.
Oh, thank you. It's a nice little bird.
What's the time of day?
It's time for me to tell you guys and the audience the true story of how Carter and I ended up here in the basement. So it all started